Hello, I'm Volker from Rubberquartz. I suck at YouTube, but today I'm gonna show you how to mod the lens on the O4 light anyway. The whole process of swapping the lenses will take you about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on luck and experience. As you can see, Patrick here is taking off the lens protector because this is plastic and it will melt away if you put heat on it. So we're getting started by heating up the existing lens housing with a hot air gun to about 200 degrees Celsius. You could use a hair dryer, but you will have a harder time getting good heat on throughout the whole housing. Patrick here, you will see, will need to heat it up 2 or 3 times until he finally managed to pop the DJI housing off. We don't recommend using higher temperature because you could damage the sensor. If everything is heated up nicely, you just take an X-Acto knife and try to cut between the plastic and the sensor. It's more popping it off than cutting actually the glue, and it takes some time. You will see he's not successful on the first try because he doesn't have the glue heated up enough, so it comes off. Our lens is a custom made lens. We decided to go for an M8 lens, a small lens. Also, those lenses are made for smaller sensor. Those are made for a half-inch sensor, for a third-inch sensor, and the O3 has half-inch sensor. That's why you see a little bit of vignetting in the corners. It's not as bad when you fly 16:9, but it's still there. If you do any bit of lens correction or stabilization and gyro flow, you can easily get rid of those.
Sorry.
Let's see if Patrick is successful on the second try to get it off. While you watch me flying around my house, the lens we chose is a bit wider than the original, obviously, but not as wide as some lenses I've seen other guys using, like from the Cadex Ant Light, which gives you a whopping 170-degree field of view, but massive distortion even in the center of the image. Ours is about 145-degree, which we think is a good trade-off between seeing enough and still having usable footage for YouTube in the end.
Take your time with this.
Now, I think that's the point where Patrick is finally able to break the glue just by putting some pressure in and take the original lens off. I'll put a still image of the lens in here, of the sensor in here. You see the glue. You should remove any glue that's suspectable of breaking off and getting into the sensor. It would not make for a nicer picture. You don't have to remove all of the glue, just enough so you have a flat soft surface to put it in the new lens mount. Once you are happy with the glue situation, you can push the PCB with the sensor into the TPU lens holder. Make sure the screws for the little TPU retainer you can screw on the back are, if you take the sensor cable as the top side, then the mounting screws are on the top side as well, and the screws for the retainer are on the bottom side. You won't have any problem if you do it the other way around, but the retainer that keeps the PCB in the TPU mount will sit in the middle this way and keep the sensor a bit more stable towards the lens. Now you can screw on the retainer, keeps the PCB in the lens mount. It's easiest if you put the screws into the retainer first, with them sticking a little bit out, so you find the holes in the lens mount. I may suggest that you use a little bit of E6000 or a similar adhesive to glue this extra PCB that carries the MIPI cable connector, to glue it all the way around toward the main PCB, because this is obviously a weak point of the 04. Once that's done, you can already check if you don't have any dust on your sensor and screw your lens in. If you have a hard time, because this is a tight fit so it doesn't lose focus mid-air, you can use the provided focusing tool. Just pop the smaller end over the lens and screw it down until it's almost hitting the lens holder. It's maybe sticking out for a millimeter and a half.
Das drückt ihr drauf und dann könnt ihr da easy peasy die Linse drehen.
Und zeig mal zu mir.
Genau, und zum Fokus einstellen.
For focusing, make sure to aim at something that's at least 3 meters away.
Das ist der ganze Mod. Diese zwei anderen Schrauben, was noch über sind, sind dann zur Montage von der Kamera. Links, rechts, da einfach rein. So, dann.
Don't forget to put an antenna on before you power the air unit, and congratulations, you now got a better 04.